Chapter 809. Magic of the Slumberland Dreams. In the early morning hours at 1:45 a.m. everyone was fast asleep. But the Transformers were wide awake. They were out on patrol looking for crimes to stop. But suddenly they saw Ed. G1 sideswipe. Is that Ed? G1 smokescreen. It sure is. G1 sideswipe. Ed? What are you doing up? Ed just ignored him and headed towards the McAllister's house. He went inside the house through the window. He was sleepwalking. G1 sideswipe. He's sleepwalking. We have to tell everyone. They went to get us. I was fast asleep and then I got a call on my Omnitrix. Me? Hi? Answers? Hello? G1 sideswipe. JD. It's sideswipe. Me? What's wrong sideswipe? G1 sideswipe. You won't believe what's going on with Ed. He's sleepwalking. He's inside the McAllister's house and he's eating all their food. Me? What? We got to bring him back. G1 sideswipe. I'll tell Blitzwing and have him get everyone. Me? Okay. Is he going as Edzilla? G1 sideswipe. Negative. He's just normal Ed. Me? Well, that's a relief. We'll get everyone and try to snap him out of it. G1 sideswipe. Copy that. We went and got everyone up. Blitzwing. Guys, you won't believe what Ed's doing right now. G1 sideswipe told them everything. Eddie, Ed's sleepwalking again? Ed, this has become a major problem. We went to follow Ed. We saw him raiding the fridges of Mr. Grouse's house, the Hawkins, and our friends and neighbors. But he was really fast moving and he was really having a ball. But when he was done he was back in his bed. Eddie saw him and he laughed hard. Me? Boy, he really is like a blimp. Blitzwing? Wow. I can't believe he ate all that food. Nico? No kidding. Lori? He literally must be bloated. Ed has a major sleepwalking problem, Lori. It's like this for him. Eddie crawled onto him. Eddie, he looks so natural. Oh Ed? Ed? Shakes him awake. Wake up Goldilocks. Donkey brays. Ed, hi guys. Me, geez Ed. You weren't kidding when you said you had a major sleepwalking problem. Nico, yeah, you raided the fridges of our friends and neighbors. Ed, I do feel really full. Lainey, you're more than full Ed. You look like an oversized overstuffed Thanksgiving turkey. Ed, where did I go? Me, we followed you all over the place and you raided all of the neighborhood's houses of their food. Sheen, I didn't know this happens to you Ed. Eddie, it happened all the time to him when we lived in Peach Creek. We told him which houses that he went to. Lisa, need I remind you all that it's 3:15 a.m. and we got 4 hours of our recommended 8 hours of sleep? Me? Sorry Lisa. We're gonna have to keep an eye on Ed. I'll take first watch. Ed, I'm sorry, guys. Rex Salazar, well, at least you did it as yourself and not Edzilla. Me? That's true. We went back to sleep and watched out for Ed. Luckily my ninja training paid off and Ed didn't sleepwalk again. Later the following morning we told everyone what happened. Harold McBride, so Ed has a sleepwalking problem? Me? Yeah. He can't help it for some reason, Mr. Harold. He walks around all over the place and eats everything in sight. Nico? He can't control it for some reason. Robert Hawkins? It must be some kind of experience he had in his earlier days. Nico, that could be the case, Mr. Hawkins. Cybertron Sideways, to Kate McAllister and Robert Hawkins, I'm extremely sorry about this. If you want, we can replace any food Ed might have eaten. Kate McAllister, we can always get more. Me, that won't be necessary. I snapped my fingers and refilled all their fridges with fresh good food. Me, there. Horsa, Sheen, is it true that you're Asian? Sheen, it sure is. I have Thailand, Vietnam, and China in my blood. Later the following night we were fast asleep. But Natalie was wide awake. She was deep in heavy thought and she pulled out a fancy key. It was a golden key with a dragon symbol. It was the universal dream key. She had it wrapped around her neck like a necklace. Natalie, I can't believe that the forbidden door was the door into Nightmare Land. Nemo. I'm glad you didn't get this key. Flip sure was a nuisance. But he was funny. Also on Natalie's back was the royal scepter of Slumberland. It was given to her by King Morpheus when she was made the guardian of dreams. Natalie, I have a major responsibility for all the dreams. Lainey came down. Lainey, Natalie. Natalie saw Lainey. Lainey, are you in thought? Natalie, yeah. Just thinking. Lainey, I have to tell you something. Lainey, what is it? Lainey went over and sat beside her. She saw the key in the scepter. Lainey, that's an interesting key and that's a beautiful scepter. Natalie, thanks Lainey. It's the reason why I was made the guardian of dreams. Lainey, you never told me about that. Natalie, it was a long time ago. Before we came here into the past. When I was a little girl, I was chosen by the king of the land of dreams, Slumberland. The name of the king was King Morpheus. He was the king of dreams. His big job is to protect the dreams. My friend Nemo was made the heir to the throne of Slumberland. It was a big day for him and it was a huge deal. Lainey, I never knew about that. What is this scepter? Natalie, this is the royal scepter of Slumberland. It's a powerful artifact. It was given to me when I was made the guardian of dreams. I was also given this key. It's a universal key that can open any door in Slumberland. Lainey, that's an interesting key. What's the dragon on it? Natalie, that's part of the major responsibility that I was bestowed. There's one door that must never be opened there under any circumstances. It's got this dragon symbol on it. Lainey, what's the door for? Natalie, it's the door that leads into Nightmare Land. I have the biggest mission of them all as the guardian of dreams. Lainey, what's that? Natalie, destroy the Nightmare King. He's the ultimate Dark Lord of Nightmare Land. He's as bad as the devil himself and he is the ultimate personification of fear. Lainey, I would not like him. Natalie, no one would. That's my biggest mission of them all. As the guardian of dreams I have to destroy the Nightmare King and end his reign of terror. Lainey, that's a huge burden and a major responsibility. Then the scepter glowed. Natalie, uh-oh. She looked into the orb of the scepter and she saw a horrifying sight. She saw King Morpheus being taken into Nightmare Land by a living black mass with glowing red flashes on it. Natalie gasps in horror. King Morpheus. Lainey, what happened? Natalie went to the computer and pressed the Prime Omega Emergency alert button. The alarm sounded and she pulled out a microphone. Natalie, attention all members of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. This is Natalie Cecilia Knudsen issuing an emergency code. Dream Invasion Theta Zeta Sigma Omega. This is not a drill. I repeat. This is not a drill. Everyone rushed down to the living room. Me, what's wrong Natalie? Lola, I was in the middle of my beauty sleep. Natalie, sorry guys but we have really big problems. Natalie told us what was going on and we gasped in sheer horror. Me, Natalie that's terrible. Lana, I had no idea you were given a huge mission. Lola, so that's how you know so much about the dream world. Lisa, very interesting. Lori, that is literally as big as Team Loud Phoenix Storm's responsibilities. Natalie, that's right. My biggest mission of them all is to destroy the Nightmare King and end his reign of terror and bad dreams once and for all. Natalie went through the history of the Nightmare King. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The origins and history of the Nightmare King are unknown, but he is apparently the embodiment of nightmares. He rules over Nightmare Land. a dark world which represents all the fear and darkness of the world's nightmares. At some point in the past, he was imprisoned beneath Slumberland by his enemy, King Morpheus, the king of Slumberland. He was locked behind a giant door which all residents of Slumberland were forbidden to open lest the evil king be set free again. During the movie, Morpheus summons a young boy named Nemo to Slumberland to be his heir and playmate to his lonely daughter, Princess Camille. Nemo is a boy who suffers from constant nightmares, and while his parents say the reason is because of his habit of sneaking pies late at night, it is strongly hinted several times that the Nightmare King may, in fact, be the one responsible for his endless nightmares. When Nemo and his pet flying squirrel, Icarus, are brought to Slumberland, the Nightmare King is released after Flip tempted Nemo into unlocking the door that Morpheus warned him not to open using a royal golden key. Nemo rushes back to Morpheus' palace in time for his coronation ceremony, where Nemo is handed the royal scepter, the only thing capable of defending Slumberland in the event of the Nightmare King's return. In the middle of a dance session between Morpheus and Professor Genius, the Nightmare King reaches the castle and steals Morpheus away. As the party-goers search for a scapegoat, Flip and Nemo reveal each other to be responsible for the Nightmare King's escape. Nemo awakens in his home, which floods with seawater and ejects him into the ocean. Genius discovers Nemo and tells him not to blame himself for all that has happened and that Flip is responsible. When the two return to Slumberland, Flip reveals that he has a map to Nightmare Land, where Morpheus is currently being held. Nemo, Icarus, Camille, Genius, and Flip set off in a tugboat in search of Morpheus. They are soon sucked into a whirlpool and find themselves in the monster-infested Nightmare Land. The group comes across a group of shape-shifting goblins who wish to aid in the quest to find Morpheus. The Nightmare King sends a flock of giant bats creatures to seize the rescue party. Nemo attempts to use the scepter, but once again awakens back in his bed. The goblins appear in Nemo's room and the group travels together to the Nightmare Castle within the Nightmare Land by flying through a hole in the sky called the Gate of Wind. At his castle, the Nightmare King is informed that Nemo has been terminated, but his giant manta ray soon informs him that Nemo is in the castle with the scepter. Enraged, the Nightmare King absorbs his army due to their failure. He then sucks Nemo and his friends into his lair where he demands possession of the scepter. When Nemo fails to reply, the king reveals the professor, Princess Camille, and Flip, whom he has imprisoned in giant reliquaries, and begins to taunt the boy. When even this fails, he tops it off by imprisoning King Morpheus in a reliquary of his own right before Nemo's eyes. Nemo tries to save him, but the Nightmare King has his giant stingray try to kill him, but Nemo soon destroys it with the scepter. He again asks Nemo to give him the scepter because, after all, Nemo cannot even remember the words necessary to use it. Nemo refuses and valiantly uses the scepter to fight off the Nightmare King by destroying his left hand. Now enraged, the Nightmare King tries to absorb Nemo and his friends and finish them for good. In a last desperate effort, Nemo just barely manages to say the full incantation to the scepter, unleashing its full power to destroy the Nightmare King once and for all, albeit at the cost of his own life, ending his evil reign along with Nemo's own nightmares. Shortly afterwards, all the Nightmare King's spells are lifted, freeing everyone, and Nemo is quickly revived by King Morpheus, who forgives Nemo for breaking his promise as his courage destroyed the Nightmare King and ended his evil reign. Sometime later, Slumberland celebrates the fall of the Nightmare Kingdom. After which Nemo returns home and once more awakens in his room, this time peacefully, now forever free from his endless nightmares due to the Nightmare King's destruction. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We were horrified. Me, the Nightmare King is like the devil himself. Nico, we have to stop him. Vince, Nathalie, will gladly help you out. Nathalie, thanks guys. Here we go. Nathalie took the key and opened a portal, and it was the door to Slumberland, and we all went into the portal. We then came out and we saw that we were in Slumberland, the world of dreams. Nathalie, here we are guys. Slumberland. Lainey, it's beautiful. Lola, it sure is. Lana, this place is amazing. Nico, I would love coming here for vacation someday. Sheen, me too. May, same here. Me, wow. Carol, it's so beautiful. Vince, it sure is. Carla, I would love coming here. Lincoln, me too. We went to the palace and we went in. Me, wow. The palace is amazing. Very, it sure is. Aline C, it's amazing. Rachel SD, it sure is a beautiful marvel. Hunter, German accent, JA. UND, it's a magnificent marvel. Eddie, so how are we gonna find Nemo? Natalie, follow me guys. We followed Natalie and we were taking in the magnificent sights of the Slumberland Palace. Me, boy, it's like we all went to heaven. Natalie, laughs, it does feel that way, huh dad? Linka, it sure does. G1 sideswipe, wow. I would come here for some R&R. Very, we all would. Me, let's focus on the matter at hand. We continued to follow Natalie and we saw King Nemo comforting Queen Camille, who was crying over the loss of her father. Natalie, Nemo, Princess. They saw us. Nemo, Natalie. Camille, Natalie. They went and hugged her. Natalie, it's great to see you both again. I got word about what happened to King Morpheus. We won't let the Nightmare King get away with this. Nemo, wow. Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Me, it's a pleasure to meet you, Nemo. Nemo, it's a pleasure to meet you guys. Natalie, we want to help you all out and destroy the Nightmare King. Camille, I'm glad. Camille saw Natalie with the Golden Dragon Key. Camille, where did you find the Golden Dragon Key? Natalie, it was given to me long ago for my birthday. Dad gave it to me. Nemo, I see. Iron Boy, Nemo, by any chance, have you seen a card anywhere? Nemo, a card? Natalie, it's a strange story. We're looking for the mystical Clow cards. And I sense one here. Then a Clow card appeared. It was the dream card. She was a female humanoid with long, straight hair, dressed in a flowing caplet, cut in short points in front, with a tall, wide, elaborate headdress that obscures its eyes. Me, it's the dream card. Natalie, the dream card. Dream card, yes Natalie. I am the one that let you know that King Morpheus was in danger. My dream powers helped tell you. Natalie, I'm glad you did. Thank you. We need to go into Nightmare Land and destroy the Nightmare King once and for all. He has terrorized the realm of dreams for far too long. Dream card, I understand. Camille, I want to come too. Nemo, count us in Natalie. Natalie, let's do it. The dream card opened up the portal into Nightmare Land and we were off. We went into the portal and we had arrived into Nightmare Land, world of fear. We were riding our horses across the land and it looked like a world straight from the darkness of hell in its entirety. The sky was dark and filled with darkness and despair, and the mountains were sharp and scary, and the sea was made of living black water that represented all of the darkness and fear of everyone. Me, Nightmare Land. Lainey, this place is horrifying. Lana, it's really scary. Natalie, this place is the source of all the nightmares in the world. We saw up ahead a massive mountain. We saw the lair of the Nightmare King. Nightmare Castle, supreme pinnacle of ultimate fear. It looked like a true castle from the darkness of hell itself, and it was a mountainous castle. It looked like a super tall mountain surrounded by large sharp pointed rocks, and the level of pure evil coming off of it was incredible. It was a true castle of pure ultimate evil. Me, Nightmare Castle. Natalie, the home of the Nightmare King. Lincoln, it looks like a true castle of pure evil. Nemo, it sure is scary. Lola, it looks like a castle that the devil himself would live in. Me, that's exactly what I was thinking. Natalie, it's protected by a force field. We need to go inside by going under it. Me, okay. Lead the way. Natili took us under the castle and we were in a cave and we were sucked into the castle through the gate of wines and we were right inside the castle. Me, we're inside the castle. Natili, this place is really dark. Lana, where's the Nightmare King? Natili, he's here. I can feel it. Nightmare King. Come out and face us. Then a black figure came out and it had black horns, razor-sharp teeth, glowing piercing red eyes, black cloak, and razor-sharp claws. It was the ultimate personification of fear itself. The Nightmare King, supreme ruler of ultimate fear. Nightmare King, so you've all come. Natili Knudsen, Nemo, Princess Camille, and Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Natili, that's right. We've come to make sure you never terrorize another soul ever again. Me, your terror will end right now. Nemo, that's right. Let King Morpheus go. Lainey, yeah. Nightmare King, if you want him then come and get him. Laughs maniacally. Me, let's power up and take him down. We transformed and powered up. Edzilla, punches Nightmare King. Ed smash demon. I punched the Nightmare King in the face and knocked out a tooth and Lainey fired a powerful barrage of poisonous barbs and blew off some of his teeth and Lola, Sam SL, and Nico fired a massive blast of fire and burned him. Lincoln and Linka fired a massive blast of lightning and electrocuted him. We fired numerous energy blasts and more and they all hit him and exploded with incredible power. Crab. We let loose all hell on the Nightmare King and fired a powerful assault of energy blasts and more and we were really going to make sure that he pays for causing centuries of fear and bad dreams and more. Nico, Nightmare King, you have failed this world and the universe. Me, time for some teamwork. Cybertron sideways. You got it, boss. Cyber key power. The Planet X Cyber Planet key went into his blade shield and blades popped out. Blitzwing, let's get him. Cyber key power. The Earth Cyber Planet key went into Blitzwing's back and it enhanced his speed and his heat-seeking concussion missiles 100-fold. Cybertron sideways and Blitzwing, hypersonic heat-seeking /burst. Cybertron sideways slashed the Nightmare King with incredible speed and fury and Blitzwing flew in at 10,000 miles per hour and he fired numerous missiles and they hit where Cybertron sideways slashed him and exploded. Crab. G1 sideswipe. Let's do this. Cyber key power. The Autobot Cyber Planet key went into his back and it enhanced his pile driver arms 100-fold. Rex Salazar, time to bring the pain. Earth Cyber key power. The Earth Cyber Planet key went into Rex's right arm device and it enhanced his EVO abilities 100-fold. G1 sideswipe and Rex Salazar, Omega Funchuck Pulverizer. Rex Salazar and G1 sideswipe got onto the Nightmare King's head and pulverized him with a massive and devastating barrage of powerful punches. Nemo, let's use the power of Final Smashes. Camille. Camille? Okay. Nemo, ladies first. Camille, you are too kind. Slumberland Dreambeam Burst. Princess Camille fired a massive blast of green energy and it slammed into the Nightmare King and exploded. Crab. Nemo, my turn. Train Slam Surprise Strike. Nemo summoned a massive train and it slammed into the Nightmare King and exploded. Crab. Natili, you will never be welcome in the world of dreams again, Nightmare King. Natili went Super Angel 10,000 Night Dream and she pulled out the scepter and pointed the orb at the Nightmare King and began to chant the incantation. Natili, chants incantation. Jazama Pajama, Pajama Jazama. Chimera Kazam, Chimera Kazam Imaratazam. Pajapajap Shazama, Shazama Pajama. Pajama. The scepter orb fired a massive blast of super powerful energy and it hit the Nightmare King and went all the way through his black heart. It killed him in an instant and it made him explode. All of Nightmare Land felt his destruction and the castle exploded with unbelievable power. crab. When the smoke cleared, the Nightmare King was defeated and his reign of terror and his evil kingdom was destroyed for good. King Morpheus was free and we saw him. Natili, King Morpheus, Your Majesty. We're so glad you are all right. King Morpheus, thanks to you Natili. You and all of your friends and family saved me and all of us. Me, it was our pleasure Your Majesty. We all did it together to save you and all of Slumberland. Natili, I have completed my mission Your Majesty. But I couldn't have done it without the help of my friends and my family. King Morpheus, you sure did Natili. I'm so proud of you. Nemo, Camille you did a great job. Princess Camille, thanks Father. Nemo, it was amazing Your Majesty. We went back to Slumberland and we were rewarded medals for our heroism in saving King Morpheus and it was a grand time. Nemo, to the viewers, dreams are a magnificent world of endless possibilities and in a dream you can achieve great things and do many things. Me, you got that right. We decided to spend some time in Slumberland for a while. When we got back home, Nico caught a bishop and a galerk. The dream card turned back into a clow card and recognized me as its master and I signed my name on it. It was a magnificent time in the world of dreams. But Natili's job as the guardian of dreams and never finished. She has a long journey ahead of her. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete and a nightmarish villain destroyed. Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland was an awesome movie I know from back when I was a kid. It was so cool. It was made back in 1989 and it was an awesome movie. It was a box office bomb because of no to low audience attendance. A lot of stars were in this movie. The movie was made over in Japan and it was made here in America as well. Gabriel Damon, Takumano in the Japanese adaptation, as Nemo, he is a human boy living in New York City who is taken to Slumberland to be the official playmate of Princess Camille. In actuality, however, he is being summoned to be the heir to the elderly King Morpheus. He is given the key to Slumberland, but is warned by the king to leave a door with a coiled dragon emblazoned on it closed. Sadly, he opens the aforementioned door when he is tempted by Flip and goes on a quest to restore Slumberland to its rightful glory, save King Morpheus and defeat the Nightmare King. Mickey Rooney, Shikeo Tsuka in the Japanese adaptation, as Flip, he is described as a frightful fellow by Professor Genius. He is wanted throughout Slumberland for having fun, the bounty on his head is a sizable one, and his only friend is his partner in crime, a bird named Flap. He tricks Nemo into accidentally releasing the Nightmare King and blames Nemo for the ruin of Slumberland. He is in possession of a map of Nightmare Land, hand-drawn and written in his own special code, and serves as the guide to the Nightmare Castle until he is replaced by the Boomps. He has a serious smoking addiction. In the real world, he is a clown in a circus that stops in Nemo's town. Rene Auberjonois, Kichi Kitamura in the Japanese adaptation, as Professor Genius, King Morpheus' advisor. He comes to the real world to bring Nemo to Slumberland. As a sophisticated man, he is quite punctual and prefers order as opposed to madness. He is quite a dancer, as he dances quite a bit during Nemo's coronation ceremony. In the real world, he is an organ player in a circus that stops in Nemo's town. Danny Mann as Icarus, a flying squirrel, Nemo's best friend and a supporting protagonist. Icarus is Nemo's only friend from the real world. He shows great concern for Nemo's well-being in a sense similar to that of two siblings. He speaks a mix of both squirrel and some English. His screech is painful to the ears of the Boomps. He detests being called a little rat, which Princess Camille mistakes him for. Unlike other squirrels, Icarus eats human food, like cookies. His initial relationship with Princess Camille, though rough, eventually changes for the better. Bernard Erhardt, Kenji Utsumi in the Japanese adaptation, as King Morpheus, the elderly sovereign of Slumberland. He has protected Slumberland for years with the help of the Royal Scepter, an ancient weapon of great power. Though he is a child at heart, he knows when to be serious. He has Nemo brought to Slumberland so that he may become his heir to the throne. He gives Nemo the key to Slumberland, which can open any door. However, he warns Nemo of one door with a dragon symbol emblazoned on it that must never be opened. Like Professor Genius, he is quite a dancer, as he dances alongside the professor during Nemo's coronation ceremony. When Nemo accidentally releases the Nightmare King, King Morpheus is captured and Nemo has to go and rescue him from Nightmare Land. In the real world, he is the ringmaster of a circus that stops in Nemo's town. Bill Martin, Tar Ishida in the Japanese adaptation, as the Nightmare King. He is a demonic creature who was locked behind a massive door until he was accidentally set free by Nemo, who was given the key to the door by King Morpheus. Once free, he captures King Morpheus as revenge for his imprisonment and then retreats to the Nightmare Castle in Nightmare Land. When Nemo goes to Nightmare Land to save King Morpheus, the Nightmare King has his minions capture Nemo's friends, Professor Genius, Flip, and Princess Camille. He is shown to be quite temperamental, as he destroys several minions for the failure of just one of his underlings, the general of his army. The only thing that can vanquish him is the legendary Royal Scepter. Laura Mooney, Hirako Kasahara in the Japanese adaptation, as Princess Camille, the daughter of King Morpheus. Though she initially acts somewhat spoiled, she eventually grows to like Nemo. She also grows fond of Icarus, and vice versa, despite a rough start. When her father is kidnapped by the Nightmare King, she takes over as sovereign but decides to join Nemo in his quest to save King Morpheus. In the real world, she is the daughter of the ringmaster of a circus that stops in Nemo's town. Greg Burson, Test Share Genda in the Japanese adaptation, as Nemo's father and Flap. Jennifer Darling, Mari Yoke in the Japanese adaptation, as Nemo's mother. Neil Ross, Hiroji Take in the Japanese adaptation, as Oompa. Alan Oppenheimer, Kiichi Nenba in the Japanese adaptation, as Oomp. John Stevenson, Masaharu Sat in the Japanese adaptation, as Oompo and the Dirigible Captain. Sidney Miller, KZ Shioya in the Japanese adaptation, as Oomp. Michael Bell, Hirako Imori in the Japanese adaptation, as Oompi. Kathleen Freeman, Kimi Nakajima in the Japanese adaptation, as the dance teacher. Beverly Banfield, Seiko Nakao in the Japanese adaptation, as the woman. John Stevenson, Kazumi Tanaka in the Japanese adaptation, as the dirigible captain. Bird Kramer, Yukimasa Kishino in the Japanese adaptation, as a goblin, a hideous creature that serves as a member of the Nightmare King's army. They are sent by the Nightmare King to ensure that Nemo doesn't reach his castle and free King Morpheus. Though the goblins succeed in capturing most of Nemo's friends, they fail to capture Nemo himself and, when the Nightmare King finds out, he kills them all in a fit of rage. The only goblins to survive are the Boomps, who, in contrast to the other goblins, are not hideous and are actually good. Bo Weaver, Tar Arakawa in the Japanese adaptation, as a policeman. Sherry Lynn as Bon Bon. Guy Christopher as a courtier and a cop. Nancy Cartwright and Ellen Gerstel as pages. Tress MacNeil as an elevator creature. Michael McCanoe as an etiquette master. Michael Goff as a teacher. Michael Sheehan as a fencing master. June Foray as the librarian. Greg Berger as the equestrian master. They all did a fantastically great job back then, and it was a great movie made back then. This chapter is also a tribute to the stars of the movie. R.I.P. Mickey Rooney, September 23, 1920 to April 6, 2014. R.I.P. Bernard Earhart, February 6, 1934 to November 1, 2000. R.I.P. Bill Martin, October 8, 1945 to January 27, 2016. R.I.P. Greg Burson, June 29, 1949 to July 22, 2008. R.I.P. John Stevenson, August 9, 1923 to May 15, 2015. R.I.P. Sidney Miller, October 22, 1916 to January 10, 2004. R.I.P. Kathleen Freeman, February 17, 1919 to August 23, 2001. R.I.P. Bert Kramer, October 10, 1934 to June 20, 2001. R.I.P. June Foray, September 18, 1917 to July 26, 2017. NicoGen11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man as usual. The next Clow card is the Erase card. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland is owned by Winsor McKay, Masami Hata, William Hertz, Tokyo Movie Shinsha and Hemsdale Film Corporation.